All right, we are live. Just make sure the microphone's not connected to this. No, I don't think it is. Okay. Today I want to talk about another kind of video I made a little while ago. That was sort of about two main paths when it comes to self-improvement. There's many paths, but kind of two main things that you could decide to do. Actually going to just put a poll in the chat. Okay, cool. So just put a poll out. Which is the best in self-improvement? Consistency or perfection? Now, you probably already know the answer. Should be consistency, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today and why that is better. So I have my whiteboard here because I want to draw. I'm terrible at drawing, but I want to draw a little graph to make this stand out. So bear with me for a second. Okay. So this is the graph. On the top, we have perfection, and on the bottom, we have consistency. This is kind of weird. It's like not mirrored, so I'm always moving in the opposite way of when it's moving on the screen, but whatever. So this might look like it's consistency, which it is, but not really in terms of what I'm talking about today. So it's perfection because every day is perfect, and so you are slowly getting better, as long as you're doing the perfect habits, and you will eventually get to your goal, which is up there. You will eventually get to it. Now, consistency is a lot harder because you have to stay consistent, no matter if the day is good or bad. Um, Whatever it is, you just have to stay consistent. And so that's why, you'll have good days and you'll have bad days, more good days, more bad days. Um, but as you can see, you reach your goal way faster. In fact, this perfection, this is your entire life. Because if you try to achieve a goal perfectly, you will probably never achieve it. Like, if you wanted to start some sort of business, you would never achieve it if you were thinking, okay, I have to do it perfectly. I have to build it perfectly. You would probably never build it because you would be stuck on making a perfect business plan, a perfect pitch to investors, um, instead of just launching the business and trying it. So yeah, this is for anything, honestly. If you want to start, let's say, making money online, well, just start. Like, just publish something and have somewhere where people can pay you for that thing, and most likely it will fail like your first time. But instead of just trying to make this perfect thing and you put so much effort into it, and then you finally release the perfect thing, well, guess what? People might not buy it as well, and then you're never going to try again because you're like, oh, I spent so much time perfecting this and it didn't work. So for example, I launched Improvement Club last month. It's already been maybe a month now. And was it perfect when I launched it? No. But I realized, well, there's probably not going to be anyone who signs up like right away. So why would I just spend so much time trying to make it perfect, but not actually launching it? So I just launched it, and that actually forces you like, oh, okay, now it's actually public. So I got to build it even more because people actually join it. And it is quite built up now. I'm constantly improving it, but it is actually a good community now. I even have a course in there. I was making today and yesterday, I was making a challenge workbook. It's kind of 30 days, and each day you have like reflections and journal prompts. And the point is to kind of improve your mindset, improve your mood throughout the next 30 days. And so I made this whole 30-day workbook thing. And I was actually going to publish it like as a separate thing on Amazon KDP. And so I went through all of that and I was on Amazon KDP and everything. And then it was like, you have to be 18 years old because I entered my age, or I entered my birthday when I wasn't 18. But it's fine. Side topic, but I'm moving to Canada in a month. So I realized I'll just wait till I move to Canada because of just bank account thing. It's just easier. Um, but I'm actually going to put that in Improvement Club for free, of course. Improvement Club is basically where I put just like everything that I learned, all the courses I make, all the things that I'm going to make in the future will all be in Improvement Club. I just want one thing that has everything. And then, all the things inside of it can be sold separately if people really want that. But Improvement Club is obviously the best deal because you get the real community. Anyway, yeah. So perfection really just not the best way to go. Even though it looks like it's just better. It's like, oh, all my days are perfect. It's going to take so long to actually achieve all of your goals. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, with that being said, that is kind of it. That is this right here is literally why consistency is so much more important than perfection. So basically, perfection, you wake up each day and you don't have to work each day because you only work when you actually feel like it. You have the right vibes and the right mood, and yeah. Whereas consistency, you wake up and even if you feel terrible, you just do the work because you have to be consistent and be disciplined. And the person who's consistent will always be the person who is perfectly creating something but never actually releasing something. Iman Ghazi has a quote, or at least he said it in one of his videos. It's like, silent, no, consistent creators always win over silent experts. And that has to do with like YouTube creators and stuff. But it really applies to a lot of things. Uh, consistent consistent business owners always win over silent experts, right? Like, don't bother trying to become perfect at something because there will already be 100 people who might be less knowledgeable than you are in a certain topic, but they've just started and they're actually doing the work. It doesn't matter. It's like someone who wants to start a business and they're like, okay, I want to start a business, but I'm gonna go to business school first for 4 years, and then I'll see if it's good, and I'll have to figure out my business plan, maybe during school, and then a good pitch and everything. Or there's the person who's just like, I want to start a business. They go to ChatGPT. How do I start this business? Um, and then they just start it. They know it's going to be bad. They know it's going to be terrible. It might not work, but by the time 4 years comes around, the person who decided to just start right away has probably already failed at like three businesses, and they actually have a business that's running. Whereas that other person who decided to wait uh, and wait till everything's perfect, they start their first one, and they're already so much more behind, even though they thought they were getting ahead because they were trying to make everything perfect. So yeah, that's honestly just why consistency is so much better. Um, because honestly, in this graph, like I said in the beginning, like both ways you can get to your goals, right? If you take perfection, it'll just take way longer. And if you do consistency, um, it'll go a lot shorter time. But honestly, you might not achieve your goals if you take the perfection route. It might take all your life because nothing will ever be perfect. Um, like honestly, if you try to make something perfect, you will realize that there's always something wrong with it. And that's the problem, right? Um, the problem is that you're just trying to make it perfect. But yeah, so in your self improvement journey, just make sure you're staying consistent. I know a lot of people struggle with perfectionism, and so it's easy to think, for example, like your habits. When you fail a day, you might think, "Oh, I I'm not good at this habit, or I might as well quit." But you don't have to be perfect. That's why you have a habit tracker so that you can see um, how many days you got it right, how many days you didn't, and then try to figure out why you weren't consistent on certain days. Um, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, if you were trying to do perfection, then you would think that you just have to stick with your habits. Like all the time, which, yes, of course, that is the ideal. That's not how it works. If you can stick to a habit all the time, you already have a habit and you don't need to write it down on a habit tracker. The very act of putting a habit on a habit tracker means that you're probably going to fail a few days because you're trying to build a habit. And so you just have to be ready. You just have to literally know that you will fail. Um, I believe there's like Dan Martell. He's some millionaire business CEO or whatever. I think he owns like 3 companies or he sold 3 companies. I think he failed at 17 companies. Unless I'm thinking of a different guy, but I think it was him. 17 different companies failed. And so, yeah, it's easy to think, going back to just the business example, if you had a business idea, "Oh, I need to make this perfect because this business has the potential to change my life." And that is great, and you should be thinking that. But if that leads into, okay, since it's going to change my life, like I have to make sure it's really good, um, then no, that's not the right way of thinking of it. Because it might change your life, but it might just be in a different way than you imagined. It might be the fact that you are going to fail that business that might change your life. But yeah, um, with that being said, I don't really know what else to say on this point. I feel like if I just keep talking about this point, it's kind of repeating myself because it should be pretty obvious. Uh, I think it's just something that we need to remind ourselves a lot because so many people struggle with perfectionism. Otherwise, why would people watch those videos? They're like, if you struggle with procrastination, watch this or something. So, yeah, I think that's going to probably just end off this live stream a little bit shorter than usual, but I already did a live stream yesterday. I honestly could just do a live stream every day. I wouldn't mind it. It's kind of fun to do these. Um, but like I was ranting on about yesterday, live streaming on mobile doesn't work, and I don't know why. It should work because I have over 50 subscribers and all the other requirements, and that would be, I think, a lot better because then honestly, anytime I could just start live streaming, and if people happen to be on, we can get more people into self improvement. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to end off this live stream. So thanks for anyone who has been watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah, as always, you're capable. Keep improving.